students, we'll move on with the next topic, that is form handling in PHP. So form you can say is a common way for a user to communicate information from the web browser to the server. That is, using this form user can enter some data, so whatever data he has sent, that can be sent to the server. Okay, so to enter the data he can use controls like text fields or check boxes or radio buttons, menus, like this. Okay, so HTML form facilitates the user to enter data that is to be sent to the server for processing. So you have entered some data, like you have entered your username and you have entered your password. So that data will be sent to the server for processing. Okay. So for this purpose, you can use your HTML form. Basic requirement to connect HTML form to PHP scripts are, first of all, form properties such as method and action. So method is nothing but we are going to mention which method, whether you're using get method or whether you're using post method, the method through which you're going to send the data, that you're mentioning under method. And action is nothing but it is going to tell, or it is going to tell the location where you have to transfer the data that has been submitted by the user. It can be the URL of a website, or it can be other file. Okay. Name property, it mentions, name property tells us whether you want to use a radio button, whether you want to use a text boxes. So that is your name property. And the last one is the submit button. So the form submit button to submit the request to the server where the PHP script resides. Okay, so that is a brief uh, introduction about the form. So in simple words, if you're saying form is nothing but it allows the user to enter some data, and that data which the user has entered will be sent to the server for processing. What kind of data you can enter? Usually you can enter some data in the text field, or you are going to select something like check boxes, or you can use radio buttons. Okay, so that is about your form. So we'll see the syntax of the form tag. So form followed by action. So as we said in the previous slide, action is nothing but it is going to tell where the data should be sent, whichever data has been entered in the form, where it should be sent. It can be the URI to submit the filled form, or it can be some other file name. Okay, and method is going to tell us which method we are going to through it send the data, whether you're using the get method or whether you're using the post method that you're mentioning. So either you're using get or you're using post method. Then you are going to have some form contents. So form contents, either you can write some check boxes, or you can use a radio button. You're using the name property and you're mentioning which are the controls you're going to use. Okay, then finally you're going to close a form tag. So action is nothing but the page is the page the form should submit its data to. It can be the URL also. Method can be either get or post method by which the form data is submitted. So next we'll go to the get method. So what's the difference between the get and the post method? So there are some differences. We'll just see. Data sent will be visible in the URL. So if you are using the get method and sending the data, then that data what you have entered will be visible in the URL. Okay, and there is some restriction with the amount of data what you can enter. So it is restricted to 3000 characters, and get method should not be used for system which has password or very sensitive information to be sent to the server. So whenever you have some confidential information, then in that cases don't go for get method, because whatever data you're entering, it will be visible in the URL. So in such cases get method is not preferred and you have to go to the post method. Okay, get can be used to send binary data as well as images or Word documents to the server. So PHP provides get associative array to access all the information sent by the get method. So whatever data you have sent to through the get method, so that data has to be received. So for that purpose we are having get associative array. Okay, next one you have the post method. So in get method we had some restriction, that is the amount of data which can be sent, and also get is not secured because the data is visible in the URL. But same thing in case of post method. After the submission of the form values will not be visible in the URL. So when you compare get and post, whenever you have sensitive data, post is preferred. Post method is preferred because that data what you have entered is not visible in the URL. Okay. Post hides data being sent by embedding in the HTTP request body. Hence, the data is secure. Okay, data center is secure. So, whenever password or any other sensitive information is there, go for post method because the data is embedded in the HTML request body. It does not have any restriction on the data size to be sent, but whereas in case of get you had some size restriction, relatively secured and can be used to in large data requesting as well as responding. So in the previous slide we saw was get associative array, here it is post associative array. So this is used to receive the data or access all the information that is sent by the post method. So that is about your get and the post method. Okay, so we'll see an example program that is given to you in your textbook, that is about popcorn3.html, wherein the user is entering information. um, okay, so we'll just see here. So just see the form tag here. Under action we have written as form.php. So whatever information you are entering here, that information should be sent to form.php. And you can see in form.php we are using the get associative array. So this is used to retrieve the data, get the data what the user has entered in the form. Okay, and the method you have used here is get. So again here also we have written as get associative array. Okay, so next will come, we have the buyer name, and you have a text. So the input type here is text. Okay, wherein the user is entering his name, and size is nothing but it is going to tell the length of your text field. Okay, so we'll just execute this particular program and just see this. Okay, so we'll execute this. Okay, so you can see here, welcome to ABC Club Popcorns. So I'm executing form.html. Okay, so welcome to ABC Club. Then buyer name. So you have buyer name followed by a text box where I'm entering the buyer name and street address, city. So all this information. So buyer name followed by you have a text field here. So that is nothing but where I have entered the name. Similarly, street address, and I have a text field there when I'm entering the street. City zip, again I have a text field. Okay, so that is about all this. Then you have a table wherein the heading you have product, price and quantity. Okay, you have a table wherein the heading you have product, price and quantity, and under product you have unpopped. Under product you have unpopped popcorn and the price is $3, and how many item you want to buy, that is been taken from the user through a text field. Next product is caramel, price and how many items you have to mention here, like this. So these are the products, so all these are written in the table. I will mention 2. Okay, so I'll tell how many quantity I want. Then after that we have the payment option. So here the control we are using is the radio button. Okay, so radio payment and the value you have given as Visa and MC, then discover check. Okay, that is what you have here, Visa, Master, discover check. Then you have the submit button. You have the submit and the reset button. Submit is used to send the data, whereas reset is used to clear the data what you have sent. Okay, so this is the HTML form. So whatever data I have entered here, so you can see here, so in the form action, whatever data I have sent, that should be sent to form.php. So I have form.php here. In the form.php, what information we have entered there? We have entered for popcorn, all those things, right? So name, street, city, whatever we have entered here, we are retrieving through the get associative array. Okay, so we'll just execute this. We'll give the submit button. Okay. Um, so, okay. So you can see here. So you can see here we have used get. Okay, so since we have used the get method, so you can see here after the question mark you have name as street. So whatever data you have entered, that is visible, right? So whatever data you have entered here, that is visible here. That is what we said in get. So in get what happens? Whatever data user has entered, that is visible. So for that purpose, whenever you have any sensitive information, then don't go for get method. Okay, so now I will change it to post. Okay, so now we'll see what happens. I will save this. Now once again we will execute this particular program. We'll try to execute this particular program. Okay, here we are entering the data. Okay, some value I'll give. Okay, now you can see the URL. We don't have any information what you have entered visible in the URL. So for that purpose you're saying post is secure. Okay, so that is about your get and post. So you can see here whatever information I have entered in form.html, that should be visible in, or that data should be sent to form.php by using post method. So we'll just check form.php. In form.php what you have, so we have entered the value for unpop. So you can see here we have entered the value for unpop. Yes, unpop, then caramel, then caramel nut, then toffee nut. So all those value whatever you have entered along with that name, street, city, payment, that is what you have entered the value of unpop here in form.html. So to access that data you are using post associative array. Okay, and it is stored in this unpop, caramel nut. All the information is stored here. And after that you're checking here if unpop you have not entered any value. Suppose in that form.html for unpop you have not entered any value. In that case what happens? Unpop will be initialized to 0. Okay, so similarly for caramel, if you have not entered any value, it will be initialized to 0. Like this will be done for all. And the next part what you are doing here is how much quantity you have told. So unit price is $3. Okay, for unpop. How, in the text field, how many quantities you have told. So suppose here quantity I have to written as 3. So 3 into 3, that is 9. So that is what is done here. So 3 into 3, 9. Again here how many quantity I have told, it has been multiplied, and you have to get the total price. So total price, that is in your bill, you have to get the total price of this. So for that purpose what we have done, unpop cost. So here you have the cost. So unpop cost, caramel cost, you are going to add all those costs, that is nothing but your total price. Along with that you should also get how many number of items you have purchased. So 3, 5, 6, 7. So total 7 items you have purchased. So for that purpose total items unpop caramel. So this is nothing but what you have entered in the text field. Okay. So finally you are this details are being printed here. So you can see here customer name, customer street information, that is pin code, all those city information is printed. And after that the details, that is order information is being displayed in the form of a table here. So you have a written table, you have used a table tag, and you have written caption as order information, then the heading of the table, the header, that is product, unit price, quantity, and unpop popcorn, and what is the unit price for that, what is the quantity, and the item cost. So this information is printed. So all these are nothing but to print the information in the table. Finally you have ordered total item, how many number of item, that is 7, and what is the total bill. Okay, and what is the method you have used, that is payment, that is we have used, in this case we have selected discover method. So this is an example program that is given to you in your textbook for form handling. I hope you have understood this particular program. Thank you.